What's wrong with you? And I'm like, are you five?
Well, actually, no, I want to say something now because I'm getting comfy, I'm getting sat, I'm ready for this because
Access denied. Access denied. Access denied.
hey y'all, it's your host Jessica Jordan and I'm here on Access Denied, the podcast dedicated to helping you get over your fear of rejection one episode at a time. Let's go! Hey y'all, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Access Denied. Today I am so freaking excited to introduce you all to Fay Kanevsky. Fay is an incredible content creator, disability advocate, and comedian. And in today's episode, we talk about the natural comedy that comes from having a disability and how powerful entertainment and comedy can be in advocacy. It's a really fun episode, y'all. Pour yourself a cup of tea, sit back and relax, and let's dive in. Faye, welcome to Access Denied. Thank you so much for being here. How are you today?
I am great. How are you doing?
You know, the sun is shining in Chicago. Can't complain. Feeling pretty good. And I get to talk to you, which I'm really excited about. I feel like I've been wanting a chance to get to know you better. We've been in the same circles, I feel like, for a while now. And just haven't properly connected outside of the internet, which is a great place, but it's
We got to
different.
meet one time at VidCon.
Oh my God, no, we did.
Yes, one time the year before last. I remember.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was we were at some happy hour, weren't we?
Yes. It was like
Yes.
some event. Yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh, that completely slipped my brain. Yes. Oh my gosh, you were wearing such a cool outfit that day too.
Thank you.
I think it was pink. I have a very odd memory of
I
it
don't
being pink.
remember.
It doesn't matter. But it's good to connect again. I think that was a very stressful situation, if I remember. VidCon in general for me was very stressful.
True.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot. Those convention centers are interesting, especially as a disabled person. But
Yeah, for sure.
we're gonna unpack that in today's episode. With that said, though, how about you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners today?
Absolutely. I'm Faye. I am multiple things. I'm an actor. I'm a stand-up comedian. I am an artist. I have my own small business. I I'm a content creator. Yeah, I think that just about covers it. Through my content, I do lifestyle comedy, fashion through a lens of disability as well as education and advocacy. And my goal is to help make people more confident in being themselves, like whoever they are, and to help bring more awareness and education around disability.
Well, I must say, I think you do an excellent job of that. Your
Thank you.
content is always so colorful and brightens my day when
You
I see it.
too.
Oh, thank you. Half a heart. I only can do half a heart, but much love. Wait.
I can't
Nah.
do the Gen Z one. You know, I'm
Oh,
Gen Z.
no, the
That's
this
really
one or whatever.
complicated. I don't know. Yeah.
No, no, thank you. It's
I
too
don't think it
much.
looks good either.
Are you Gen Z or millennial?
I'm Gen Z. I think I'm maybe I'm cusp, but I think I'm just about in the middle actually. I'm 2001.
Oh, you're definitely Gen Z then.
Yeah, I'm Gen Z.
Because technically I'm considered Gen Z, but I'm the cutoff.
You're a cusp. You're on
I'm a cusp. I'm a zillennial. It's a thing,
yeah,
I guess. I
yeah.
don't know. But very cool. Okay, well, you do so many amazing things, and I feel like I don't even really know where to start, but I know one thing I have been impressed with you with is your stand-up comedy because
You.
first of all, you're very entertaining in general, but you're very funny. You're very
You.
funny. I was watching
You.
some of
I
your
appreciate
videos in
that.
preparation. I was like, she is comical, which is what you're supposed to be. So,
Thank you. I
how
appreciate
did
that.
you get started with stand-up comedy?
Okay, well, that's a funny story, actually. Well, technically, I've been doing stand-up comedy on stages in LA just this year. I just started like within the year, not 2025, but within the year. My first time doing stand-up comedy, actually. Unsurprisingly, I'm a theater kid, and I did California State Thespian Festival, and one year, every year actually, there's a boba place across the street from where we would do the thespian festival, and we would go get boba all the time, and my mom was a chaperone. My mom is also a content creator, Dr. Ina. And she was a chaperone, and we like would go every day there. And apparently like we didn't tell her or something that we went to go, and they were like looking for us everywhere. And I had led the charge to go get boba, and my mom was like super mad. And she was like, as punishment, I sign you up for showcase, like state talent showcase. And I had like done a stand-up workshop that day. And I had wrote about my mom. So I did the state talent showcase, like doing stand up about my mom, and I got second place that year, I think. And then the next year, I did it again of my own volition. My mom didn't sign me up as punishment this time. I did it myself. And I did stand up about something else, and I won first place that year. And then in college, I think I did a couple like open mics, but I didn't really like do it that much. And then this year I got a diversity scholarship at Upright Citizens Brigade, and I took a class, like a stand-up class, because I love structure and I love instructions. Because the thing with stand-up comedy, especially comedy for me, is that I'm told I'm funny, and like people laugh when I talk, but I don't know what I said that's funny. Like, and I think certain things are funny, but like I don't know that that's the things that other people think are funny. And I'm like, whenever I say something funny, I'm like, okay, can you explain what it was that you thought was funny? So, but in that class, that's kind of what that's for. It's for joke structure. And when I talk, the other class people were so supportive. They were like, write that down, write that down. Like, that's funny. And that's where I ended up getting like a set. There was a showcase. From that showcase, I ended up doing a couple of shows, and then it kind of built from there. That's it.
That's okay. I love that it went from a punishment to like
Yeah.
second place to like a
Right.
passion project sort of
Yeah,
thing for
exactly. I
you.
really love it. And that's kind of my goal in performing and doing acting and everything is well, first of all, I think there's a lot of comedy in disability. A lot of my comedy, stand-up comedy is around my experience with my family as well, with my personal experience, because I think stand-up comedy is funniest when it's unique to you. There's like a gajillion like people doing comedy about dating, comedy about like this and that, but what is it about you that's special and that's funny? And I think like my unique perspective and disability experience is funny. And I think just disability in general, like there's so much comedy in it. Like just like the way that the world isn't accessible to us, like it can be horrible, absolutely, but like other people being stupid when they ask us questions is hilarious. Like it's embarrassing, and I think we can poke fun at that. And I want people to be laughing with us, not at us. And I want to be in filmmaking and acting. I want to be the one making the jokes. I want to be making the love stories. I want people to be falling in love with us. I want to be seen as sexy. I want us to be seen as powerful and like main characters, because we're usually in media seen as the butt of the joke, the sob story. And I really want to change that narrative, and that's my general goal.
I love that. I relate to that so much in the work that I do as well. And you know, when it comes to comedy, that's it comes from that space of it having to be so authentic because that's what makes it funny. Like you're
Exactly.
saying, like, I don't know what makes it funny. That's what makes it funny is when it's like
Yes.
real and
It's
true to who
real.
you are. And like also I love that like not being the butt of the joke, but like laugh with us. That's
Yeah.
so
And making it.
powerful. I always say that one of the best ways to educate is through entertainment. It's
Yes.
through
Yes,
humor.
that's what I try to do.
And I think that that is like such a key thing,
I always
100%.
try to sneak a little education, a lot of education into my stand-up sets. That's kind of what they have been so far. Like a lot of them have had like service dog stuff in there, and it's people don't know anything about service dogs. And that's a lot of the issues I encounter with having a service dog is even like when I first had a service dog, I didn't know anything. Like no, there's no handbook. Nobody teaches you anything when you get a service dog. Like there's so little knowledge about it. Even people interested in service dogs, like they don't do enough research. And I want to be like, you know, part of helping people understand more. And I think there needs to be more visibility in that, because even if you think about on-screen characters with service dogs, can you think of any? Like I could think of two. Like I could think of two, and they are not in well-known pieces of media at all. Like and they're great, but like they're not in well-known pieces of media. And I think there need to be more, and I think there need to be, obviously, just in general, disabled people need to be seen more, because that's how the awareness and education around them will spread, and that's how we're going to see more access. And that's like, people think it's like a less important part of disability advocacy, but it's not, I don't think, because how, like, if when you see disabled people on screen, we are a huge portion of the population, and it needs to be reflected there, and those access issues need to be known. And like, going to 504, like 17 states are suing to get rid of the 504 plan. And like that affects so many people even beyond like disability, and like that affects like so many people, and nobody even, like, people don't think about it. Like, I just made that post like about 504, and so many people commented like, I have a 504, like I didn't even think about it. I had a 504 plan because of anxiety, because of ADHD. And I'm like, I mean, you have a disability, but like that's because you have a disability. But like, we don't have to go there. You don't have to consider yourself disabled. That's okay. But like, you needed help in school, and like, help us fight for it, because other kids like you are gonna go through school and they're not gonna get that help. They're not gonna be able to graduate. I just talked a lot. You go ahead. But
No, no, that's all. Like, I'm so glad you brought up the 504 thing, because I had a 504 plan, and like
right.
when I went to college, like I'm pretty sure it was something like 1 in 6 students had a 504 plan at my university. Like, it affects so many more people, and I love that you brought up like anxiety. It's not just if you're using a wheelchair. It's not just if you
No.
have like a service dog.
Depression, anxiety, PTSD, like so many kids have 504 plans. Like vision impairments,
It's
hearing impairments, yeah.
there's like 101,000 reasons why somebody might have a 504 plan, and the idea that it's like getting taken away in 17 states, disgusting, absolutely disturbing. I haven't made a whole lot of content around it myself yet, just because of things going on in my personal life right now, but like it's something that there's just, it's on my mind. It's something that I'm just like, this needs to be talked about more. People need to care, because it affects so many people, and it's going to have such a detrimental impact on the future if we're not careful. And all of that to say, though, like bringing it back to comedy a little bit, I think like there's such a powerful way of getting, like, sharing information, right?
Right.
That awakens people in a passive way. I
Yeah.
think one thing that people don't love is to be spoken at and like lectured to.
Yeah.
And I think in advocacy, it's so easy to do that, right? Like I do it sometimes in my content. I sit here with my little mug and I'm like, you should care about this because, but
Right.
when you do it through a cheeky little like joke, it's great.
Yeah, and they don't even realize, they're like laughing, and they don't think about the fact that they learned something. And I don't want to tell them that they learned something, but hopefully they learned something. Hopefully they think about it. And it's sad sometimes when people don't, and then they come up to me after and then they ignore it. And I'm like, well, it doesn't get to everybody, but that's okay.
It doesn't get to everybody, but it does get to some people, and I think
And
that's the key.
that's what's important.
It does, because the more people that do pick up on it, the
Right.
more the message will get shared over time. And that is what ultimately I feel like the disability community hasn't been able to achieve, is like breaking through that like barrier of being in an echo chamber in a lot of ways.
Absolutely.
Which is what we're seeing with the 504 stuff, not to bring it back to that, but like that is,
Bring
I
it
think,
back
what we're
to that,
seeing.
though, if you're listening, please call and email your state attorney general. It'll take you 5 seconds to do. You can look up how to do that. And yeah, I have the link in my bio. If you go to my bio, there's like email templates to do it, and you can look up your state attorney general if you're in the US. If not, you can share materials about it. That's it. That's all I'll say.
I love it. We love a plug, and that is an important one, friends. Please do that if you live here. And again, if you don't, sharing is caring. Literally. But no, speaking of comedy, I believe that laughter is medicine. Laughter is a coping mechanism. My therapist and I know that if I'm laughing in a session, it means I'm healing.
Absolutely.
I actually genuinely believe that to my core. But within that, in order to be able to make the content, you go through a lot, right? Like to experience negative things and be able to twist it into a positive thing that entertains and educates. Like, it sucks because you experience the trauma first and then
Yeah.
you learn how to cope with it. So
Trauma makes for
I
great material, though.
it makes for great material, but like how do you like navigate that as a comedian?
Yeah, well, I think it takes time. But I think, yeah, comedy is healing. That's something I definitely fundamentally believe. And I think like I go watch comedy, I participate in comedy. I've like been previous to doing stand-up, I've been doing improv and theater my whole life. And I think it's really laughter is therapeutic. And like I want to like bring joy and happiness to people. And I think like I say this repeatedly in my content. If I'm not making you happy, I'm not like making helping you learn something, feel free to unfollow me or like move on because I don't like why are you still here if I'm making you miserable? Like, do you enjoy that? That's like a different thing than like I think you may be into BDSM and that's fine, but like
No, I love that. It's true. Like that seems like a
yeah, and
you problem.
that's fine. But like I'm not here to do that right now. That's a different website. So anyway, right. So like in terms of like having trauma and like making it comedy, there's definitely like time and a place for everything. And I think it's very important to use your own experiences. Something I see a lot because I am doing comedy, especially in LA. I'm mostly in male rooms. It's almost entirely men, and they love to use other people's experiences, especially women's experiences, and joke about that. I personally do not find it funny at all, especially because I know they didn't go through it, they didn't experience it. I'm much more likely to laugh at something that's someone's unique experience, and I know that they're talking about their own thing. For example, like even lesser things, like things that have happened with me and my service dog, like it's just like in the moment I'm like, what the I don't, can I curse? Like, I don't know if I'm,
Yes, hun DP.
I don't know. Like, I don't, like, what just happened? But often, even in the moment, like, if it's not that serious, I'm just like, that is so ridiculous. Like, immediately, sometimes when it happens, it's upsetting, but sometimes I'm just like, well, there goes into the comedy bank. Like, okay, very briefly, I'll bring this up. Okay, this is a really crazy one actually, and you're hearing this first before it goes into a stand-up set. When I was in New York, purchased something with my girlfriend at a special store. And you know the type of special store that I'm of a sexuality maybe that we don't have the special equipment ourselves, that maybe you need some assistive equipment to purchase in the special store that you need to be of a certain age to go in. Thank you. So outside the store, I was letting Juniper do her business by a tree, and Juniper has to go with me to these special stores because she needs to go with me everywhere. And that's, people are always like, oh, it's so sad. She never gets enough pets. She like is always working. No, she's not always working. That's not her trouble. She has to go sex stores with me. Like she always has to be staring at the giant dick wall. So like that's her trouble. That's not her problem is not she doesn't get enough pets. She gets enough pets. She just has to look at the dildo wall. Anyway, so she's going to the bathroom outside and like there's a little baby I'm looking at. Oh, hi baby. And all of a sudden out of nowhere I hear, "Oh my God, Faye!" like screaming, "Oh my God, Faye." And like this person turns to me and it's not my girlfriend. So I'm like, hi, and like I have a suitcase and they're like holding donuts and they're like, "Oh my God, I love you, like you've impacted my life so much, like I'm obsessed with you," and like they're going off on me. I'm like, "Oh my goodness, like hi," like, and I was like, "Oh well, thank goodness it didn't happen in the store," like, and they didn't recognize me in the store, like, well, like because I'm not ready for that, like like, and I was like, well, like, okay, like, that's so nice. And then they pull out of their backpack, they like a folding cane and it whips out like a nunchuck. They're like, "And I'm disabled too. Don't be scared." They're like, "Don't worry, I'm disabled too." And I was like, well, I wasn't scared until you just threatened me with a projectile object. But thank you.
It's like they were like a knight ready for battle all of
No,
a sudden.
exactly. I
Like,
was like,
what type of
oh,
sword
hi.
situation?
I didn't even see you at 0, just came at me at 100. And they were like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And they were like, I'm so happy for you. Like, thank you for saying hi to me. I hope you have a beautiful day. But I was just accosted, like yelled at me. And I was like, okay, fine. I was like, oh my God. Like, I was just like waving hi to, so I went in the store because it didn't end there. Of course it didn't end there. I went in
Why
the
would it?
I was just walking around, and the people out behind the counter, all these little gay people behind the counter, because it's like Brooklyn. Everybody in the sex store is gay. Like most people in the sex working in the sex store are gay, and I'm always nervous I'm going to be recognized in the sex store. Like it's bound to happen one day in my life, and this was the day. Um, and they're whispering, and like looking at me, and I'm like, and I like turn to my girlfriend, and I'm like, they recognize me, they recognize me, and she's like, no, you're just paranoid because this person outside recognized you, and I'm like, you're right. Like, come on, I'm not Beyonce. Like, they don't recognize me in the store right now. And I'm like walking around the store and like we're looking at something like in a case. And this person 2 times now has come up and said, like, let me know if you need anything. And then they come up like really tentatively to me and are like, are you Faye? And I'm like, no.
You said no?
Yeah, I said no. And they were like, do you post on TikTok? And I went, no. And they went, I think you do. And I went, no. What the fuck is wrong with you? Why are you talking to me in the store? This store? Do you have no decorum? This is a private affair. And, and then, and And they were like, no, I think you are. And I was like, oh, okay. And they were like, my coworkers encouraged me to go talk to you. And I was like, well, I'm going to go kill every one of them with like a knife right now. Why would they do that? Why would they do that to me? And I was like, oh, that's awesome. And they're like, you changed my life. Like you're, and I was like, that's so awesome. I wish you would do this anywhere but here. That's so terrible. They're like, do you want to look at something in this really profane case? And I was like, no, I don't want to anymore. We went on the subway like 45 minutes, maybe an hour to be here. I do, because that's why we came here. But like, I don't now. And my girlfriend was like, yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna kill you too now. I'm gonna slap you with this penis on the wall. What the hell? And they were like, okay. The worst part is they were really cute. And I was like, this is just all like I hate every one of you in here. All of you suck. Yeah, and like it was the wrong thing and I had to go back and be like, "No, can I look at this other thing? I don't want you to know that much about me. I don't want you to know that much about me and take this, I don't know, potentially to the well, now I'm telling you so the internet will know. But like I guess I'm not sharing any details, but like that was like obscene and horrific. And I was like, why are you doing, do not say, if you see someone, if you work at a sex store and you see someone you recognize off the internet, keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself.
I think that is one of the worst like encounters that I've heard like that.
I get recognized pretty often, but like that's like the worst place I've ever been recognized.
I don't have it happen often, but when I do, it's always like one of the most inopportune moments. I feel
Yeah.
like it's just how it happens. But like I feel like most celebrities are like, "Oh, well, the worst place to interrupt somebody would be at a restaurant, right?" And I'm like, "I get that." No,
Sex store.
I think a sex store tops restaurant for sure. My worst one was on a first date, which was also bad, but
That's pretty
like that was pretty bad. I was like, "Oh no, this is not good. This is happening right now."
I mean, that's I've had it happen like when I was with my friends and it's like kind of embarrassing. Like they'll make fun of me or whatever, but it's like fun. I remember like I was ice skating with my friends and like a herd of little teens like came at like wanted to take pictures of me, which was like I really don't mind and they were really sweet. It just like they were laughing. My friends were laughing at me because they were like, what the because we're not celebrities, and like I'm not a celebrity, but it's just like what is happening? It's pretty silly, but yeah, that was really kind of insane work, like not right.
No, and like I know that you're coming at this as being like it was this situation, not like I'm sure you love when people like
No,
approach you
I
and are
really
like,
don't mind. It's just like in there, please
and
like I feel like there's
seriously?
places like I've had some really bad experiences with people like coming up to me, running up at me. I've had like a kind of stalkerish situation. Like I feel like a lot of people have had a stalkerish situation. Um like so I've had bad experiences, but most people are chill. Like I'd say most people are really nice. Like the most times I've been recognized in one day is definitely like when I've been to Disneyland before. That's like they congregate like anywhere I go, somewhere there's a lot of maybe like younger gay people, I think. Like my audience, I feel like that I have been recognized by people, I would say genuinely of a very wide variety of ages, but it's usually like to like the 16 to 30 range, which is a really big range. It's like 15, 16 years. But like, yeah.
So they're all like in your space and in your like actual community then too. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
hey, one time I was having, but which, they may have been, they're probably my, but this was like probably a really unexpected person to recognize me. I was getting boba with my girlfriend, and this guy, like on a motorcycle, like a biker in a leather jacket and everything, like a beard, recognized me and said that they love my content and everything. And I was like that's awesome, but like not who I would have expected, you know? And like, yeah, that's cool. But like sometimes it's really people that I don't know, and like people will be like my wife watches your content, my daughter does, or my granddaughter, like people like random, which is really cool. But like, yeah, definitely not in a sex way. That's definitely like the worst for sure.
That's definitely the worst. I was gonna say, like I said,
That's like
my
I would say like
most
a traumatic experience where in the moment I was like, but then I was like, I'm writing this down to go in like a comedy set because like no way. No way. Because like if you I don't know how long you've been following me, but I was really it doesn't actually matter what I posted or how pure I actually was. People were always like very shocked when I would do like thirst trap or anything like that and knew me to be very pure and like were shocked when I would do it. So I was like I can't be recognized like in a place like I don't know, like the sex, like people, but like I don't know. Everybody was like, "You're just a baby little virgin girl." I don't know, like it's like not. I know. Shockingly, I have had intercourse before, several times. Like I don't know. I don't know if people are
I mean,
getting.
you're an adult. You're an adult
Also, one of
person
my most
who
viral videos is the Kinky Jew video. I don't know if you've seen
uh
that, but that's one
I
of my
don't know if I've seen this. I might have to go look this up.
Really? Oh, okay. I mean, that's fine. But like, that's like one of my most viral videos is the kinky Jew, the one that I'm known for. And people will like, unfortunately, that's also one of my really bad encounters is that people will yell at me across the street. Are you the kinky Jew? Which I really wish people wouldn't because that's like really unfortunate on multiple accounts. I do not want people yelling that at me across the street, especially if I'm with my family. Like,
That is not okay. That's not okay. Let's not do that.
no, let's not do that.
No,
Yeah.
especially in front of family. No, nope, nope. We're gonna
No,
have to
people like, I don't
hard
know.
pass that.
And then, okay, I don't know if you've seen my one that's like not because people will comment all the time, oh, you're gay, Jewish, and disabled, whatever. I did one that was like, not only am I gay, Jewish, and disabled, whatever, I'm also a ginger by choice. Uh, but like I was walking in the mall with my dog, and somebody who's like handing out samples was like, "Are you the gay disabled Jew?" Like, what? It's like, first of all,
Oh.
if you're not Jewish, please use the whole word. Please just say Jewish. Don't
Please.
just yell, "Are you a Jew?" at me like let's I know I said it. I'm Jewish, but like let's extend the word. Let's not yell, "Are you the gay disabled Jew?" Like I said it as a joke for me.
We
Like
don't do that anymore. Why are people shouting in general? I don't know where we got the idea that we can
no,
just
that's
shout
what
at
I don't like in
people.
general. It's like the people shouting at me. I get scared
No,
easily. But I was
I
like
do
in a bar
too.
by myself too, and I was like, "Yep."
No, if somebody's shouting, I'm gonna be crabby. That's gonna make me mad.
No, I'm
Yes.
like generally really like I don't know, I'm like nice and I'm not really like I don't like conflict or anything. So I'm just like so when I say I'm like I'll kill you with the knife or whatever, I don't mean that. I won't like I don't actually want to carry and I don't carry a knife. Just to be clear, I just have a job.
Everybody, you're safe. If you see Faye out and about, everybody's gonna be fine.
No, it's just a playful image I have in my head.
No, I totally get it though. People like not even recognizing me, but people just say the most like asinine things sometimes because like obviously I'm very visibly disabled, missing my left leg or whatever, left arm. People will
What?
just say things. I know. Shocking. Who knew? It's not like I'm hiding it, but all these people will just like I had somebody jump in front of me a couple weeks ago and like when I was literally jump like into my path and we're like, "You're missing a leg," like shouted it. And I'm like, I looked down because I was in my chair
I
at the
think you
time and
should be like, what? Oh my God, like you should start freaking out at them. What did you do? What did you do?
I was like in a hurry at the time. I wish I
Oh,
should have actually. In hindsight, that would have been hilarious,
I
but
feel like
I
there's
was
some
in a
good funny
hurry.
reactions to do that. Where? Which one?
Since when? Had no idea. What's going
No?
on?
No, I'm
No?
not. You're crazy. You start
I think something's
gaslighting
wrong with
them.
your eyes. Something's wrong. Like, what are you talking about? It's clearly
No?
right there.
I think you're missing a leg.
I think you're. Oh, that's good. I like that one. I think you're missing a leg. I think you're missing a screw or two, actually.
I think you're
But
missing a sense of public decorum. I think you should
I,
leave me alone.
you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if this person was like on something just based on like their.
People aren't though. Like this is just really like this is what I mean by like generally we need more acceptance and like disabled people on screen because people just think it's perfectly fine to you know what I think is really funny is like parents who will like shoo away kids from like looking at disabled people, say they can't like touch service dogs, whatever, and like kids are usually, in my opinion, are chill. But like the parents will be like, so why are you like this? When did this happen to you? So the adults or like will just pet my service dog without asking. So like the adults are awful in my experience, but the kids will ask questions that I find to be really reasonable. And I don't know, like I think that they have natural curiosity, but adults who I think should know better are like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, are you 5? No.
No. Well, actually, no. I want to say something now because I'm getting comfy. I'm getting sat. I'm ready for this because it is unacceptable for a parent to shy their kid away from disability. Like it is so that to me
You're making
is
them scared.
worse than the guy that like jumped in front of me and like announced that I'm missing a leg, right? Like a parent shying their kid away from it, you're creating fear for the next generation,
Right.
which is the entire issue facing the disability community right now is the fact that there is so much fear about becoming disabled when there
Yeah.
shouldn't be. It's such a natural
Gonna
part of the
happen.
human
Like it is
condition.
inevitable. Like it's
It's
gonna happen to you. First of all, it's not the worst fate. It is your fate. Like you need to accept it because first of all, I don't even know. I can't fathom how people are not fighting with us. And they shouldn't be fighting with us just because they fear it's going to happen to them. They should care just because they care. They shouldn't have to like we don't fear we're going to become another race, so we fight for the like other people. Like we just care or like we just like care about another community or like people like in different like I don't know, different situations so we help them. Like that's not how society works. You shouldn't have to fear becoming disabled or like have a disabled family member even to help disabled people. But like the truth is, you're either gonna die suddenly or become disabled. Like you
yeah.
die of natural causes and you're probably gonna become disabled along the way. Or I don't know, you're gonna become disabled sooner. Like that's the only possible outcome. If you want to live longer, which life expectancy is getting longer, disability is inevitable in some way, shape, or form.
If you have the privilege of growing old, you will experience disability from a personal standpoint.
And
And even
it's fine.
if it's temporary, right? Like that's what I always say. Like even getting like COVID, getting COVID, you're temporarily disabled. You can't perform to the same level that you were before. It's a
Yeah.
level of disability.
I think like the concept, which I find really interesting, of people being like, well, we like it's not like that much of the community, whatever. Like we can't think about it so much because it's not natural. It's not the norm. It is natural.
It
Like
is
the not
natural.
natural is so confusing to me because it's actually a natural part of life and a natural factor everywhere all the time. It happens in whole animal kingdoms. All animal like it just happens. Like it happens through history. It has happened through history, like in various like ways and times, and it just is a natural factor of existence. Like it just happens. That's not unnatural. It is exactly the definition of natural.
Mm-hmm. 100%. It's, I mean, you look at like not most, that's incorrect, but several disabilities are so biologically based, right?
Yeah.
Like biology is natural. It's a science. Like
Yeah.
let's break it down to like the root thing here. Like, no, I agree 100%. It's very frustrating. Like, and I appreciate what you said there too. Like, people shouldn't just care because it might happen to them or it will happen to them
Yeah,
one
you
day.
should
Like,
care
you
because
should just care.
you just care. Like, and I don't think it's like a factor of even making you a good person or not. Like,
No, but and
just
not to like get doomsday or anything like that, but like I'm so tired of explaining empathy to people. Like, it's
yeah,
exhausting.
yeah. I okay. I don't. I'm working on this film for disability film, the Easter Seals Disability Film Challenge, and I'm gonna be acting in it, and I'm producing it, and we're just working on picking a director, and I was kind of narrowing it. A lot of people apply to be a director, which is really great, and I was narrowing it down to two directors. Like we didn't really, as far as I could see, we didn't have disabled directors apply, which is not necessary. You have to have one. In order to go, if you don't know what the challenge is, it's a really great challenge that like basically forces disabled people to like that is it's for disabled people. You have to have a disabled person in a leading role, director, uh like a lead designer, a actor, writer, something like that. And it's preferred to have more. The challenge, like your film has to have themes of disability and it has to be on theme. I'm an actor. We have a disabled writer. There's like, I think another producer has a disability. But in interviewing like directors to like see who fits, I narrowed it down to two people, and one had a background with like disability and has like experience with like disabling anxiety and like family members with disability and had it like really great. And I, in my opinion, like I was leaning towards working with like I was hoping to work with a female director, and like this guy was a he's a guy, but like he had a really great background. And then I interviewed the female director today. And first of all, my first red flag was that she said she wanted to do like she doesn't do a lot of charity and that this is a great way to help people. And I was like, eh.
Mm,
Yes.
don't
Well,
like that.
yeah. And then just like so many red flags afterwards. Like I literally have my notes because I just met with her this morning. Like she said that she's the horrific experience of like how she described working with another disabled actor in the past and how she like tried to hide her disability and like got on her level to make her look better because to make her not look as bad to yeah, yeah, yeah.
Trying not to do a spit take right now.
No, I
What?
know. And like she was like she wanted to have a happy ending and the way that like I conquer my disability, which is just not
Oh,
the direction I want to go with this. I don't want to because that's like part of the theme of what I want to do in my film and like in general is I don't conquer. That's not how it works. I'm gonna continue being disabled. I can conquer whatever challenge I'm going through, and I'm dealing with difficulties of my disability or access things, but in the end, it doesn't go away. Like I still have the conditions that I have. Like I'm not gonna I don't I don't cure my autism like in this thing. I don't regain my hearing. Like I that's not how that works. So yeah, we're going with the other director. But like
you know,
it's in the
I
sense that oh sorry.
no, please go.
Just I do think that this sort of stuff can be unlearned, and I do think that she is able to learn, but I do not have the time in a 1 week challenge, and I don't want to use this valuable time to teach someone how to not be ableist right now. Like it's not like I don't think her work isn't good because I do think her work is good. I don't think she's not a good person even because of this. Like I just don't want to take valuable time to have to explain what disability is, to have to explain I'm not a charity case, to have to explain that I don't want my disability to be invisible, to have to explain all these sorts of things to her. I want somebody who understands like the vision.
It's a reasonable request given like everything. And also like it's not your job to educate
No.
anyway. Like advocacy is a choice. It's something that like it and I feel like so many people in the disability space feel compelled to be an advocate
Yeah,
because
unfortunately, most of us have to be regardless. Like we don't
we
get
do.
like an example with having a service dog, like I get fatigued every day. I have to explain what she does, that I am allowed to be here with her, why you can't pet her, what, like, again, what she does, like why she can be this breed and how like I can have her, why I need a service dog. And the thing is, I am not legally required to answer most of those questions, especially not to a complete stranger. I'm not legally required to answer any of those questions for a complete stranger. I do it mostly because I don't like conflict and I don't want you to get mad at me. I don't want you to take a video of me because you think my service dog is fake. Like, I don't want you to post me on a Facebook group. Like, I just don't care for that. So I would rather like explain all of that stuff, even though it's not my damn job and I do not want to. Sometimes I do, like, part of me is like, it's good to have more education. I do want people to learn, and this person is genuinely curious. But like, the other part of me is like, I am in Trader Joe's fighting for my life. I need to get potatoes for my grandma. I am so tired. This is so overwhelming. I do not want to say anything to you at all right now. Like, yeah.
No. And like people expect it, and that's the
Yeah.
issue, right? Like they
And they
expect
get
you to
really
just
mad
like
if I don't tell them.
yeah. I mean,
If I
I
say,
know it's
I really
worse.
feel like doing that
It's
right now. They're like, why? Like, oh, why not? Like, oh, I'm sorry. And like, yeah.
no, but I feel like I've heard from many of my fellow disabled friends, like it's often worse the aggression that people have when you're not as visibly disabled necessarily, or you're using a mobility aid and you don't have like an like obvious like
Right.
visible reason
Right.
to. Whereas like me, like the worst that I really get is like you're missing a leg. What happened? Like I get that all the time, but like it's not the same level of like, do you need to be doing that? Like people look at me and they like, no, yeah, I need the accessible parking space. Yeah,
I
I need
wish I had
the
the
accessible
boldness
stall.
to make stuff up sometimes because like who people like sometimes who have limb differences or like shark ate it or like say crazy stuff to people because like I think that's fun. But I just can't, like, first of all, because I like do have a platform and like sometimes people will recognize and be like, that's not true. But like sometimes I don't know. Also, like, with the having a service dog, whenever people ask her name, I shouldn't give her name because then people will call her to them and it's
Mm,
really distracting. And I'm supposed to give a fake name and I'm good at improv and I can think of like 50 fake names, but I'm just like, we'll just give, and sometimes I'll give a fake name and I'm like, "Ugh, it's a stupid name. I never name a dog that." And I'll just like think that over. And then also I'll break it because I'll call her by her name and then they're like, why are you calling her by a different name than you just told me? And I'm like, none of your goddamn business. I don't say that though. I'm like, oh,
leave
that's,
me alone.
yeah, exactly.
It's a thing though, and like I get so frustrated like when I get confronted with stuff like that. I can't
Yeah.
imagine people being like aggressive about it. Like 95, no, not even 95, 99% of the time people are like rude, but not like aggressive about it to me. They're just like, what happened? Are you okay? I'll pray for you. Like that's what I get.
Yeah,
And
I can't
then,
pray for you. I get that too.
oh God,
Okay.
that one irritates me. I like people with the Bibles out on the street on like the busy roads of
Mhm.
Chicago will literally like also jump in front of me. I don't know. Are people just asking to get hit by my chair? Like me and Miss Scarlett are going to hit you. Move out of the way. But
Juniper
they'll
will not
jump in
like
front of me
jumps in
and
front
like
of me.
put their hand on my head and be like, let me pray for
I
you,
like
you poor
Ashley.
little thing. Disgusting. I didn't give you consent. This is assault.
Yeah.
This is bad. But I do have some questions I want to ask
Okay,
you that
yeah,
I
yeah.
like to ask all of my guests if you're down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. First question. When you're feeling down or unmotivated, what is a song that maybe doesn't fix the problem, but will always kind of like raise your spirits a little bit?
I think this changes like through time. Um, I like this is like a brief weird detour. I didn't grow up with music, which sounds so miserable and like little orphan like, but like my parents are from the like Soviet Union. I'm a first generation American, and like they had music, but like they didn't have like bands and kind of music. They had like because they were from the Soviet Union, like they were allowed certain bands, and then when they came here, I guess they didn't get super into it, and they had like only some songs that they listened to, so they didn't I didn't hear any radio or anything like that, so I didn't know any pop culture or anything until like I went to school and like people would mention songs. I didn't know any people or anything, so I'm like very late to anything. I'm very susceptible to new music, so like I'll be told new music and I'll like it pretty immediately. Like I like a lot of music now. So right now I'm very into Irish rap group Kneecap. Um, I'm
Okay.
so like I like a lot of their songs. I really like Fine Art by Irish rap group Kneecap. They have a movie out. They're pretty awesome. And what else? Yeah, I like their song Hood too. They're pretty epic. I like Chaperone, which is a really different vibe from them.
I presume, yes, that seems
Yeah.
like a
No, they're pretty sick though. I like them. I like Doechii too. Um,
Dochi's Tiny Desk. I don't know if you've seen
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So good.
I
So
like both
good.
Apple and Doechii's Tiny Desk. Those are like popular ones that I like. I really like Sammy Ray and Friends. Like she's a little, I think, less super known, but I like her music a lot. Um, those are none of those are songs. I guess I really like. Yeah, I guess I listed some Kneecap songs.
You listed some Kneecap songs. So, because I'm making a playlist, like a pick me up playlist of people's songs. So
Okay, those
I'll
are
look
going to be
up
atrocious
Kneecap.
in there. I'm sorry. Those are not going to be, those are going to be like really random. Not atrocious. Much love to Kneecap, but those are going to be like real aggressive and random in there. It's really like, it's like, ah! like, um, you can like throw a chaperone fun one and like red wine supernova or like hot to go or like something like that. That's more, or maybe like Nissan Altima. I like Nissan Altima by Doechii. That's good. Like wake up, put the tits up. That one. I don't. That's not. Yeah, Kneecap raps like partially in Gaelic and partially in English, and it's
Oh,
like
that's sick.
no, it's awesome. You should listen to them. But like,
No, I will
I don't
look
know how
them up
it'll
after this.
fit on that.
Okay, no, I'm actually super duper obsessed because um I love when people have unique things because everybody that listens to music has different taste and whatnot. And
Yeah,
so
mine is all over the place. Like I like Beastie Boys, Beach Boys, Irish rap group Kneecap, Kendrick Lamar. Like
that's everywhere. We're all over the board.
yeah, Chaperone. Yeah,
And like I'm a Swiftie, right? Like I listen to Taylor Swift like
you know.
95% of the time. Everybody knows. That's literally my entire T and Taylor
I'm
Swift. Those are
happy
my
for you.
two brand arcs. What?
I said I'm happy for you.
Thank you. But like I wouldn't want everybody that comes on here as a guest to just give me like a Taylor Swift song. Like I
I
need
will
it to
not do
be
that.
like no, good,
I'll
excellent.
say I that's one thing I don't listen to, and it's just I think I have a little bit of Taylor Swift trauma, and I'm not I just can't I can't.
You know what? And that's super valid. She's not for everybody, and I recognize that. Like I think she's great, but I also like I studied English lit and I think she's like a poet. So I think that's like what I relate to is her lyrics more than her music in many ways. But I still like the music. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Um, point being, I will include Kneecap on the playlist because
Okay.
I think it's important to get a nice, wholesome
Yeah.
music list
I don't
going
know if
here.
it's
Yes.
wholesome. I think
Well,
like it's not wholesome.
holistic. Maybe holistic.
Holistic,
That is a
sure,
better
sure.
word. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Let's move on to question two.
Sure, sure, sure.
So I think that everybody has something that when they are experiencing rejection, experiencing a big no in their life, they dip into their rejection rescue kit, something that pulls you kind of out of your funk. So, what is the first thing you're doing, first item you're grabbing? It can be anything.
Dude, I don't know my phone. I don't know. I feel like I'm grabbing. I don't like. I don't know. I'm an actor and I do stand up. It's like constant rejection. Like even if you're being successful, which I'm not there yet, but like if you're like get it like it's even if you're like getting bookings, like you have to be submitting so much and it's just constant rejection. Like so like you almost have to become like chill with it. Um and I am on my phone a lot because of what I do. So I guess due to default, I'm grabbing my phone or my water bottle because I drink water. This is a terrible answer. Um,
It's
But
honest, and I value honesty.
I don't think I have like a reject like yeah, I don't think I have like a unfortunately I don't think I have maybe a rejection kit or anything like that. Like
And the first person that was on this season said alcohol, so like
no, I don't
we're on
I
board
don't
with
think
the.
that would be really bad if I was doing that every time I got rejected because that would be a lot of alcohol. That would be like
Well,
I would be super dead. Like be super dead. That's yeah, I can I'm like a cheap date because if I'm on so many medications, like I one drink and it's like I'm good. Um so an alcohol every time I got rejected would super kill me.
well, stick with the water. I think hydration is good.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I have
Yes.
like a half calf coffee even. Like I can't drink too much caffeine.
No, my tea today is actually just hot water, and it's not even that hot anymore.
Just hot
So
water? It's
I
not there's
know
no tea in there?
I'm being fake. I'm not on brand.
It's just
I can't
hot
even.
water.
It's just hot water. No, it was too late in the day. If I have caffeine this late in the day, then I will
There's
be like,
non-caffeinated teas.
well, in my house right now, I only have the sleepy time tea with melatonin, and then I have
Not now.
caffeinated tea. So I can't
Oh,
have either. Yeah.
oh,
We're in
I
the
love
middle of the day. It's a weird time.
teas. Yeah.
I need to
No.
get more tea. I'm out of tea.
Yeah, for
Yes.
sure.
Yes. So I feel bad, but no, I get it. So I'm also being hydrated today, though.
That's good.
Yes. Hydration queens here. Love that for us.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Next question. What was the last thing that you did scared?
I went to the movies for the first time in a long time, like a couple days ago, and I really, 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 really hate the like going to the movie theater, and it's really, 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 really hard for me. I went to go see The Importance of Being Earnest, like pro shot, like because they did it on the West End, with a friend, and I have severe misophonia, which is a hatred of sound. It's a it's a disorder. It's a very severe reactions to like chewing, like noise, like eating sounds. And the movie theaters are the worst because people are eating popcorn and all those sorts of things. And I'm trying to focus on like the movie. It's worse when I'm trying to focus, and it's like a nightmare for me. And I've like historically been terrible in movie theaters. And kind of the pandemic was great in the sense that like I was allowed to just watch movies at home and nobody really picked on me for it, and like I didn't have to go to the like if my parents wanted to go to the movie theater, like they weren't, I didn't go with them, and I was like, wow, I can just not do that. But then I started trying to go to a couple, and I've been to a few, and I've been mostly, and I brought all my like accessibility stuff, but I actually didn't use anything, and I was pretty good the whole time because I think I was in a place where I couldn't hear around
Mm.
me, so I was pretty chill. Like the whole, and I brought my own snack, and it's easier when I'm eating as well. But I was really nervous, but I was good.
I am very proud of you because that
Thank
has
you.
to be very like challenging, I could
Yeah, I like
imagine. Like,
prepared during the week, and like I was really nervous. Like I go to movie theaters very, very, very infrequently, and I tried, and it was a full movie theater too, so I was really nervous. Like I try to, if I go during times when there's like nobody, but this pro shot thing was only had like 3 or 4 showings in specific
mm,
theaters. So it was very, very packed. Like everybody wanted to go. So I was super, super nervous. But either everybody around was super quiet chewers, or my hearing was so bad, and I was in such a spot that I couldn't like hear everybody. And also it helped that I've seen this play a lot of times, so I knew the material really well, so I wasn't as worried about getting every single line. And because usually I'm like I have to focus and I on getting all the visuals, all the sound, and everything. But I was like I know this play, so
well, I'm glad it was a decent experience then.
yeah,
But I also like think that you said something like very powerful, like the idea of like prepping for something that makes you
yeah,
uncomfortable in that way too, like giving yourself the space, like, all right, this is gonna be what it's gonna be, and being ready for kind of anything,
yeah.
because
I
there
tell
are
my friend
moments like that.
that
Yeah.
that was coming, that like I warned her, and I also like I was like it makes me want to kill people. Like I'm not a violent person. It sounds like I really am in this episode. I'm bringing up a lot, but it's just like especially with the chewing and stuff like it, and that's I'm making like a I wrote a comedy horror short with my friend that we're hoping to get made this summer. We need to fundraise for it, about misophonia. That's like kind of bringing attention to the horror and comedy of it because it makes me have very extreme intrusive thoughts that are like you want to kill people and do violent things about, but it's like about gum. So it's like that's the comedy of it. Like, be for real. This person is chewing gum. Why do you want to kill your grandma? Like, why are you being crazy right now? So like that's the like I don't know. I think there's a lot of comedy and horror in this this disorder. And obviously, I don't what ends up showing up on my face is not me killing people. It's just me crying and me like like I'm just tweaking out, as people say. Like I'm like hurting myself and I'm just like crying and freaking out. I'm not killing people. I'm very upset. Like, but like. So people have described this disorder, like that I've talked to, as like a very Jekyll and Hyde thing of like there's two people. There's like one Fay basically that's like, let's kill everybody here. They all should die because they're chewing gum, and what's the wrong with them? We have to kill them. And the other Faye is like, it's not that serious. Please sit down. You're gonna like, I'm gonna freak out. I'm trying to do a math test right now. Like I can't focus because you're trying to kill everybody. So what you see on the outer Faye, so that's like kind of what the short is going to be like. It's like a two phase, and like it's like in a classroom and you're seeing the it's like a
Wait, I kind of can't wait for this. That sounds
no,
really
I know
good.
it's going to be like a very campy like comedy horror, and then in the end like it kind of escalates to the point where I do kill everybody in the classroom, but like not for real. Like, and it's like flashes back to what's really happening, and I'm like crying. And then the teacher is like, spit your gum out, like there's no gum allowed. And like it's like not it's just not that serious. Like it shows that it's not that serious, but it's so serious for me. Like I want to draw attention to it, but like also poke fun at the fact that like what's in my it's really like because I everybody with misophonia also understands the fact that like one, it's not a curable thing, and like people can go through treatment, and I've had exposure therapy my whole life. It's not like I've never been in a movie theater. It's not like I've never been around someone chewing an apple. I've been around this my whole life. It has not gone away. Like it's a horrible disorder. It's honestly one of the things that disables me the most. Like I going out to eat or like eating with my grandma, like, and my brain is like, throw the food against the wall. Like my brain will say crazy stuff, and I'm just like trying to leave when it's just like it's so inconsequential. Like I'm just trying to have breakfast with my grandma. Like it's so regular, but it's like a horrible disorder. It's like awful. But
Oh.
that's kind of the vibe. Anyway, yeah.
No, again, coping through humor, coping through
Yeah,
art. I think
absolutely. Yeah, that's what I want. I feel
that's
like it's
how
been
we
very
do it.
therapeutic working on it.
Well, I feel like that's a big full circle for the episode. So, my final question for you today then is what are some final like pieces of advice or final like words of advice or what I like to call on the show nuggets of wisdom that you would like to share with the listeners today?
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, one thing is it's gonna happen, which really sucks, super bad. But if you want to be like me and deal with it through comedy, I think you should find a way to cope with it, is one thing. And it doesn't have to be through comedy. It could be through whatever you want and whatever medium that you really enjoy. It could be through writing, it could be through poetry, it could be through dance, it could be through math. If you like math, I don't know how that would work, but that's like a you thing if you like math. I don't
Some
know.
people like the numbers. I don't know.
Yeah, some people like the number or like statistically analyzing how many times has it happened to you and like publishing this data or something like that. I feel like that's a data-driven way to be doing that. But like there's like using what has happened to you and either putting it to good or using the coping mechanism that you most prefer and turning it into something positive. And in the moment, you can really react however you want. Like, there's nothing legally that says you have to be nice to this person. There's nothing that says that you have to be polite. Like, I would say don't kick a child that's asking you why you're in a wheelchair or something like that, but like, or run them over. But I really wouldn't. I think that's actually illegal. Just kidding. That's illegal. That's
That's
definitely
illegal.
not
That's
gonna do it.
there's
And
been a lot of violence in this episode. We do not condone violence
yeah.
here.
Sorry about that. In general, I'm sorry about that. So
No,
I don't condone violence. Don't kick anybody, actually. Don't. So in your words, you can be uh
You can be violent with your words, just not your actions.
No. Don't threaten anybody. Don't.
Well, don't threaten, but
Be nice. Actually, you don't have to. I'm giving really good advice right now. And follow your dream.
Follow your dreams. Fay, this has been such a joy having you on Access Tonight. Where can people find you?
On Instagram, I'm Fay the Fae, FayTheFae. On TikTok, I'm Fay the Gay. Fay the Gay was taken on Instagram, and that person will not give up the username, even though they haven't posted since 2022. But Fay the Gay, FayTheGay is my username on TikTok, and on YouTube, FAY_THE_GAY. Fay the Gay was also taken on YouTube. Person doesn't post either. I think I'm on Blue Sky, but I don't really know how to use it. And it's probably like one of those users as well. I think it's like Fay the Gay or something. But I'm mostly like I'm on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, and I have my stand-up stuff on my YouTube and my shorter stand-up stuff on my TikTok and my Instagram.
Amazing. I will link to all of it in the show notes. Everybody that's listening, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Access Denied. And Fay, thank you again so much for being here. You've been such a little light today, and that has brought me so much joy. So thank you.
Thank you.
And that concludes another episode of Access Denied. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like this week's episode, be sure to hit that subscription button and notification bell here on YouTube, or go check us out on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss another episode. We have so much exciting content coming out for season 2. You're not going to want to miss it. I'd like to give a huge shout out to JP Warner Sound for dropping this sick beat that you're listening to right now. And finally, if you'd like to rep your love of Access Denied, you now can with our very exciting merch line, featuring a very special Access Denied mug so that you can sip your morning tea while you listen to me spill the accessibility. Anyways, friends, thank you so much once again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye!